I've always liked Zs, but for the last handful of years, they didn't really look like one to me. That's going to change. Here's an early production sample of the 370Z. Yep, we got it. Let's go for a ride. And of course, check the tech. First of all, big news inside. The old Z, the 350, got a lot of knocks for having a tacky interior. Big improvement here. First of all, it's more business-like. There's less garish sort of plastic. They still have the pod modules going on here for the instruments, but they're much more traditional sports car. Great crisp gauges. This one on the left is still kind of ugly, and it uses this bizarre little row of dots to show how much gas and temperature you've got. Yuck. Up here, classic Z stuff. This is the most hearkening to the original Z of all the modern cars. Now, this is where our nav system would go, but of course, in this very basic car, it's a storage binnacle. But again, nicely done. Here's our basic audio system. Again, there's a Bose option. We don't have it. This guy is a CD with an aux-in jack, which will be standard on the car. If you get the Bose audio, there'll be additional sources and, of course, 8 speakers of Bose amplified sound. Now, our gear shift. Looks like a standard 6-speed manual, right? But there's a special trick going on here. This is the world's first downshift rev matching manual. They call it Synchro Match over at Nissan. You activate it with this button right here, part of the sport mode. And then whenever you go to snatch a downshift, it automatically matches the revs. No gunk if you're not so good at driving a stick. You go for that downshift, dump the clutch, and you're perfect. But enough about all this. It's a Z, for crying out loud. Let's get on the road. First thing you notice about the 370Z is the hard note of its exhaust and engine. Very much showing some GTR DNA, but the ride isn't nearly as unbearably hard as the GTR. In fact, it's quite livable, in spite of this new Z having about 4 inches less wheelbase. If anything, I'd expect it to kind of porpoise more, but nope, it's surprisingly compliant. Power comes from the new 3.7-liter V6 that is now Nissan's top motor of that type. It delivers 332 horsepower and 270 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. The throttle response is calibrated to be moderate in the upper part of pedal travel and then really come on in the latter half. Nice and livable. Now, about that rev matching gimmick. It really works, though I'm not sure how useful it is. You run the motor up, then depress the clutch, and don't worry about the RPMs, because as soon as you select the gear for your downshift, the revs snap right to an exact match between flywheel and transmission input. And while Nissan doesn't seem to mention it, I swear it also works on upshifts. And at really low RPM, like from a start, this feature doesn't seem to do anything at all. So it's not there to help those who never really learned how to get a manual car off the line smoothly. Okay, let's price out the 2010 370Z. Now, early production car here, so I don't have the hard numbers, but I can tell you this. Base, right around $30,000 even. Options, nav, iPod, Bose audio, don't have pricing on that yet. There'll also be a sport package that'll bring you that rev-matching 6-speed manual, better tires, brakes, wheels, and limited slip rear ends.